Follow along, Catholic Pilgrims, as we follow French doctor of the Church, St. Francis de Sales, through his book, Introduction to the Devout Life. Tune in as we read through this practical guide for living out the Catholic faith well. Welcome back, Catholic Pilgrims. Only 15 more readings to go. Can you believe it? Today we are asked more questions, this time with regards to ourselves. Last time, St. Francis asked a lot of questions that probed deeper into our relationship with God and our devotion to Him. Today he's going to probe into how we think about ourselves. So just like last time, these are excellent questions to really and truly answer. Take these questions into your prayer time, take them with you into adoration, or if you are the journaling type, write down your answers. So let's go ahead and open to chapter 5 of the 5th part. Chapter 5. Examination of your condition with regard to yourself. Number 1. How do you love yourself? Is your love a purely worldly one? If so, you will desire always to abide here, and your cares will all be given to your establishment on earth. But if your love for yourself is a heavenly one, you will desire, or at least be ready and glad, to depart hence whensoever it shall please the Lord. Number 2. Do you keep your self-love in good control? For ill-regulated self-love ruins us. Well-regulated love requires us to love the soul more than the body, to endeavor to acquire virtue more than aught else, and to esteem heavenly honor far above all low earthly honor. A well-regulated heart oftener asks itself, what will the angels say if I do or think thus? Then, what will men say? Number 3. What love do you bear your own soul? Are you willing to tend it in its maladies? You owe this care to it and should leave all else in order to procure aid when it is harassed by its own passions. Number 4. For what do you count yourself in the sight of God? Doubtless, nothing. Now, there is no great humility in a fly which holds itself as nothing when compared to a mountain, or a drop of water as compared to the sea, or in a cornflower, or a spark which counts itself not when compared to the sun. But humility lies in not esteeming ourselves more than others and not desiring to be so esteemed by others. How are you on this score? Number 5. In word, do you boast of yourself in one way or another? Do you flatter yourself when speaking of yourself? Number 6. In your recreations, do you indulge in pleasures which can injure your health? I mean useless, vain pleasures, unprofitable watching, and such like. When my kids were little, they each, in their own way, asked me if I wanted to live forever, meaning live here forever on earth. I think it's a common question that kids ask. And I told each of them no. And then they, of course, asked why. And I said, well, I'm not made for this world. And to try to remain here forever would just end up frustrating me. I do want to be with God and my loved ones in heaven, where I know we won't be frustrated and can love each other freely. There's a children's book called Tuck Everlasting. In the story, a family comes across a little spring one day and they all stop for a drink. Unbeknownst to them, it is a magic spring with water that makes you live forever. They have to hide out in the woods to keep away from civilization because they don't age and they don't want people to catch on. Anyway, a little girl discovers them and they form a friendship. And she finds out their secret and she thinks she might like to drink the water. However, nobody in the family is pleased with the prospect of living on earth forever. At first, they were when they first drank the water, but as time has gone on, they aren't so happy about it anymore. Life has lost its luster and they are just simply passing time. And because of this, they don't want the young girl to drink the water and be trapped as they feel. St. Francis asks, quote, how do you love yourself? Is your love a purely worldly one? If so, you will desire always to abide here, and your cares will all be given to your establishment on earth. But if your love for yourself is a heavenly one, you will desire, or at least be ready and glad to depart hence whensoever it shall please the Lord." Unquote. As our culture has become less interested in God, the desperation to remain on earth as long as possible has become an obsession. Just look around at all the ways people try to thwart old age from taking over. And if you think about it, if you believe that this worldly life is all there is, you'd want to hang on to it forever, at least as long as you can. But what's really interesting is that these people want to remain here for as long as they can, unless they are suffering. If they are suffering, euthanasia is the answer for many. There's no point, they think, staying alive if there is any suffering. And this is so sad. We aren't made for this world, and there will be suffering here, and nothing will satisfy. But instead of living to make it to our heavenly reality, people just try to extend youth indefinitely, or they just get rid of themselves prematurely. And both are hideous choices. The family in Tuck Everlasting show that this life is not where it's at ultimately. This world has many wonderful and good things to offer, and we need to remain here as long as God wills. But we should live our lives in such a way that they reflect the reality of where we are trying to get to, and that's heaven. So we'll stop here for today, Catholic Pilgrims. Don't forget to answer the questions honestly. And until next time, live the faith boldly and travel well.